Hello, teachers, and welcome to the Music Teacher Mastermind podcast. My name is Jaclyn Mrozek, but you can call me Jackie, and I will be your facilitator. Every week, I love coming alongside fellow music educators for a little mastermind of our own. Together, we tackle challenges, explore new opportunities, solve problems, and hopefully spark some inspiration along the way. Last week, I talked about burnout, and I have been blown away by your messages and thoughts on this topic. As I reflected on burnout myself, I realized it's the perfect time for a little pause. I'll be taking a short break from the podcast to focus on my own rest and my studio as we wrap up with recitals and enjoy the holiday season. But don't worry, I'll be back in January, and boy, do I have an exciting lineup for you. Guests like Clinton Pratt, Angela Toon, Andrea Miller, Ashley Danu, and the creators of Piano Safari, Julie Haig and Catherine Fisher, will be joining me, and that's just to name a few. We will be diving into topics like improv, taxes, money, teaching methods, and so much more. As for today's episode, I'm doing something a little different. I'm going to walk you through a mastermind session to help you reflect on this past year and gain clarity as we move into 2025. So, are you with me? Are you excited? Are you ready to get honest with yourself and give yourself the best teacher gift possible? I mean, I think it's the best teacher gift. I'd also take a Steinway. But I think this is a fantastic teacher gift. So with that, let's get started. Greetings, music teachers, and welcome to the Music Teacher Mastermind. My name is Jackie, and I will be your facilitator today. And this episode is going to be a little different. As we near the end of 2024, I'm going to be walking you through a year in reflection mastermind session. These exercises are designed to help you gain clarity, reset your mindset, and set meaningful goals as we approach the new year. And before we dive in, I do want to give you all a quick overview of how mastermind meetings typically work, at least the ones that I've studied and trained under, as well as I have hosted. Now, in a typical mastermind, we start with a quick check-in. Everyone shares a win, something positive from the week. It sets a great tone, and it reminds us of what's going well. And then we move into the heart of the meeting, and that is sharing the COPI, the challenge, opportunity, problem, or inspiration that I have talked to you all about before. Each person gets a set amount of time to reflect on their COPI, update the group on progress from the previous meeting, and share what's currently on their mind. And from there, the group offers encouragement and feedback. It's a blend of brainstorming and coaching, which makes it such a valuable experience for everyone involved. Now, often we also include a spotlight session, which is a focused discussion on a trending topic in the music teaching world, or maybe there's an issue that is particularly relevant to our specific group. These I always have planned for our groups. However, sometimes it all gets covered in our one-on-one sessions as we're sharing our individual COPIs. So I kind of feel out how it's going, but we usually have those. Also, some masterminds offer a guest as well. Now, we do wrap up at the end by sharing our goals for accountability, and we update a shared goal sheet to track progress for everyone. Mastermind meetings aren't just refreshing and fun, although they are. They're actually transformative. Members leave feeling understood, supported, motivated, and have a renewed sense of purpose. It's a psychological shift for sure, lowers stress, offers new perspectives, and it offers a deeper commitment to their goals. Now, I'm not trying to sell you on Mastermind here, okay? I don't even know if I'm going to be doing any next year or not. I'm just sharing how it works because I'm going to walk you through a mastermind, and I want you to really work with me today. I want you to really think about the questions. If you're taking a walk, you can pretend like you're on your phone and just talk out loud. Answer the questions to me. Maybe you're in your car, maybe you're doing dishes, whatever it is you're doing, I want you to really participate with me today and have some fun with it. All right. This is an end of year mastermind. We are going to dive deep into reflection, self-awareness, forward thinking. And there's one key word I hope you'll walk away with today, and that is clarity. I hope that you get some clarity as we close 2024 and step into 2025. And we're going to jump in by starting with your current copy. But before we do, I want you to pause for just a moment and ask yourself, what is the biggest ick? The biggest ick I am feeling about my studio right now. And I get it. Some of you might be saying, oh, Jackie, my studio is amazing, perfect, and wonderful. I love teaching. And to that I say, yes, you go. High five. But I do want to dig deeper. Digging deeper, why? Why is it so amazing and perfect? What are you doing right now? What is working for you right now that makes it so great? Reflecting on that can be just as insightful as tackling a challenge. For most everyone, though, I do think there's got to be something making you feel ick. All right. And maybe you're saying everything, Jackie. Everything feels ick, literally everything. And so to that, I would say, all right, you got to narrow it down. Are you teaching so many hours that it's feeling overwhelming? Maybe it's exhaustion that's clouding your perspective. That would be your copy. Do you love your students in studio, but you're feeling frustrated about not making enough money? Is that frustration starting to lead to resentment? Are you managing your money effectively? Is the money coming in, but you don't know where it is? Are you kind of getting where I'm going with that? Your copy's in there. Did your students struggle during your recital? And now you're questioning your teaching methods. Oh, I'm just such a horrible teacher. My students all messed up. No, you're not a horrible teacher, but there's got to be something there if you are seeing a trend. That's your copy. All right. Whatever it is, I want you to really focus on that gut feeling that you're having. It's that one that makes you feel really uneasy when you think about your teaching career right at this moment. So take a moment to reflect. And as we move through this session, I'm going to guide you in unpacking that feeling and turning it into actionable steps for the new year. Sometimes just naming what's bothering you can feel like a weight lifted, and it's normal. It's normal, guys. It's all good. It's normal to feel stuck, frustrated. Every teacher has been there. Oh my goodness gracious, my teacher friends, I probably drive them nuts, okay? Because I'm always like, blah, 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 listen. It's okay. And here's the exciting part. Now that you've identified your copy, we can start turning that ick into a plan for growth. I hope you're excited right now. Are you feeling excited right now? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm forcing you to pull your head out of the sand and face an issue you've been trying to avoid. And trust me, I get it. I've been there. When it comes to the bigger icks, I do tend to shut down and internalize them. I don't even share them with my closest people. Okay, fine. I do eventually, but it takes me a while because I am such an open book. But like I said, it takes me a while. And here's the thing. If we want to grow, if we want to be the best teachers for our amazing students, if we want financial stability, job security, to manage our money correctly, these are things that we absolutely need to face. So let me ask you a few questions. And I want you to imagine that we're having a one-on-one conversation, just you and me, sitting together, cup of coffee, cup of tea, whatever, glass of wine. I mean, I won't say no, but we're working this out together, okay? My lovely teachers, get ready to answer me. Honestly, be honest. First, what exactly is causing this discomfort? I want you to verbalize your copy into one clear sentence. What is the problem and why is it there? I want you to take a moment, whatever you're doing right now, I want you to take a moment to say it out loud, or maybe you're in a position where you can write it down. Just go for it. All right, next. Is this something within your control or is it external? Now, remember, if you are running your own studio, if this is your business and not someone else's, as in maybe you're not teaching for someone else, you might have more control than you think you do. But I want you to reflect on your situation honestly. Consider your answer, and again, try to sum it up in one sentence if it is in your control. Question number 3. If this issue were resolved, what would success look like for you? Paint the picture. Think about it. Close your eyes if you're not driving. If you're driving, don't close your eyes. But I really want you to imagine what it would look like. How would your teaching life, your studio, or your personal happiness improve if this problem was no longer holding you back? And finally, how does this issue affect your teaching, your students, your family life, your overall happiness? I want you to really think about the ripple effects. How is this problem showing up in your day-to-day life? And maybe it's not a problem. Sorry, I used the word problem. It's a coping. Maybe this is a challenge. Maybe it's not a bad thing, but it's a stressor, something that needs to happen. I guess I'm kind of leaning towards it being a problem, but it might not be that. And I get it. These are tough questions, but to help you wrap it all up and make it a little easier to process, let's simplify it into this one statement. So hear me out. This is a statement, okay? Quote, "The problem I'm experiencing is," and then insert your specific issue there, "and it's impacting me by," insert concrete examples. So here's an example of that sentence. Let's say I'm going to use the example of feeling overworked, okay? Because I hear that one a lot. Actually, I had somebody message me this week about this exact same problem. Okay, so here's a sentence. "The problem I'm experiencing is overworking myself, and it's impacting me by making me feel exhausted, unmotivated, and resentful of my teaching." Okay, so at this point, you've got your sentence. Do you need a moment to think about your sentence? Maybe you need to pause this podcast and really give yourself time to think about it. I really want you to proceed knowing in your mind what this copy is. So if you need to pause it, pause it. I'm going to keep going though, okay? At this point, we're going to brainstorm some solutions together. Now, first, remember that if we were in a mastermind group, we'd be hearing from other teachers, getting ideas, perspectives, and encouragement. Since we are not in a group right now, let's draw on the conversations that maybe you've already had. I want you to think back to previous podcast episodes. It might not even be with me, maybe other teacher episodes, social media groups, coaching sessions, if you've had those, or even casual chats with other teachers. Have you seen or heard of other teachers solving these similar issues? And could that approach work for you? Now, let's flip the script. We're all teachers here, right? We're pretty good at giving advice and thinking that we have the answers, right? So, if a teacher came to you, let's pretend a teacher came to you with this exact issue. What are 2 or 3 possible solutions that you would offer them? Put yourself in problem-solving mode and think about the advice you'd give. For example, let's go back to the feeling overworked scenario. Here is what I might suggest to a teacher. Could consolidating lessons into groups be a possibility? Maybe it's time to shift the schedule around just a smidge. Maybe add some breaks or set a firm cap on weekly teaching hours. The gal that I was talking to, while she and I were kind of messaging back and forth, she was like, "Oh my goodness, you know what? I teach," I forget what she said, like 8 to 10 students at a time with no breaks. Oh my goodness. No wonder why she's feeling overworked, right? So I think she is determining how she can schedule some more breaks for herself. Or here's something else I might tell a teacher. If finances allow, would it be helpful to just focus on building a wait list and temporarily stop taking on new students to reduce the workload? So Take each of your potential solutions and really weigh out the pros and cons. Which one feels most realistic to implement? Maybe you're not in a situation where you can do group lessons. Maybe you're not in a situation where you can put in more breaks, which I hope you can, because breaks are really important, you guys. But either way, which one seems like it could make the biggest difference? And once you got an idea, share it with someone you can trust, your spouse, partner, another teacher who gets it. Start brainstorming together and searching for ideas. You do not have to be an island. Get with your people, okay? If you're hesitant to post your thoughts online in something like a Facebook group, which I know a lot of us are very hesitant to post our thoughts, I don't blame you there. Don't worry. Just use the search function in the group, because chances are that topic has already come up again and again and again, and you'll find plenty of ideas and advice without having to start the conversation yourself. Okay? All right. You've identified your copy. There might be a possible solution there. Okay? So now this seems to be the most difficult part. Now, I feel like they're all difficult. I feel like identifying your copy sometimes is hard. Coming up with solutions is hard. But this one seems to be what stops most people. And that is taking action. And guys, it doesn't have to be a big action. Actually, I encourage you to keep it small. Keep it small. It does not need to be a complete overhaul at this time. It always makes me think back to What About Bob? You guys ever seen that with Bob Wiley? Baby steps down the hall, baby steps. I don't even remember. You got to watch the movie. It's a great movie. But anyway, baby steps. Let's break it down. So first, plan your first action. Let's say your copy is feeling overworked, going back to that again. But like I said before, teaching in groups isn't an option due to space limitations. Maybe your first step is instead deciding to prioritize a dinner break. You get hangry and you need some food and you need that break. Let's be real. Most of us probably skip this, and I struggle to be kind to myself in this area as well. So your first action might be as simple as looking at your schedule and sending that very first text or email to a parent. You could politely ask them if their lesson time can be moved, or better yet, be an advocate for yourself and just let them know, hey, due to some adjustments in my schedule, your lesson time will need to be moved. I'd be happy to work with you on finding a new day and time that suits your availability. And chances are they're going to be like, okay. It's up to you whether you ask or you just inform. But the point is, you need to take action. Now, I want you to take a moment. We're going to go back to you, okay? Thinking about your own copy, and ask yourself, what is my first no going back step? What is your first no going back step? Pause if you need to, but you got to answer this question. Now, I want you to set a deadline. Once you get the wheels turning, set a deadline for yourself. Again, going back to that dinner break example, maybe I decide to notify my studio that this new schedule will take effect when we return from winter break. Right now, it is December 9th of 2024. This is the last podcast of 2024 for the Music Teacher Mastermind podcast. So when I come back on air, I think it's January the 6th, maybe I'm going to have some new dinner breaks, guys. I don't know. This is all hypothetical, but it's a good time to start, okay? Setting a deadline. Make it realistic, but firm. Make it realistic, but firm. This will help you create the relief you are looking for. All right, you guys, we got to stay accountable. You've got to stay accountable. If you are running a home studio, this is so important because we work alone and we feel alone. You need someone to be accountable to besides yourself, because I know you guys are not as kind to yourselves as you should be. Get with fellow teachers, Share your plan online, or for Pete's sake, just email me. Seriously, I would love to hold you accountable or even help to connect you with others who can. You can just email it to me. I'm not going to charge you for sending me an email and just letting me know. I'm not going to judge you. Just, it's fine. You don't have to do this alone. All right. Okay. If I identified the copy, strategized a plan, set an action plan with a deadline, and we're finding you some accountability, right? So are we done? Can we say goodbye? Nay, nay, almost, but not quite. There's one more critical step. This is probably, oh goodness, did I say that the other steps were the most important? I don't know. I don't know if I did. I don't think I did. I think this one's the most important. Write it all down. Write it all down. Why? Why, Jackie, you might ask? Well, I've looked some stuff up here, and let me tell you, writing down goals and action plans significantly boosts your chances of success. I wanted to know by how much. This is what I found. Research by Dr. Gail Matthews showed that people who wrote down their goals were 33% more successful because it enhances commitment and accountability. It also reduces that mental clutter, because I know you guys got hats, a lot of colorful hats, big hats, small hats. You got a lot, okay? This is going to reduce that mental clutter, allow for better focus on objectives, and by specifying actionable steps, and there's a fancy thing called implementation intentions. So, by specifying your actionable steps and implementation intentions, you're far more likely to follow through. I don't think that should be a surprise to any of us. In other words, your chances of success skyrocket when you write things down. So just do it, guys. Just write it down. Again, this is my last podcast episode for 2024. It's the perfect time for a self-reflection letter. This is something that we do in my masterminds. And this is how we start the masterminds in the new year. This is how we end the masterminds at the end of the year. Take the time to reflect on your wins this year and walk yourself through each month, okay? Think back to January, 2024 of January. Where were you financially this time last year versus now? What about your student count? Are you happy with it? Did you get more? Did you decrease? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Did you gain any certifications? Join or quit any groups or transition into a new teaching role? What do you want to change, improve, or learn in 2025? What is your current copy? And what are your actionable plans, deadlines, and accountability steps? Write this letter and share it with someone. My mastermind clients email their letters to me, and soon we will be pulling out last year's letters to reflect and share it together. This process is transformative, and every year brings new challenges and opportunities. Maybe you've had a baby, moved into a new house, maybe you're a caretaker now, or you've transitioned into a new phase of life. As life fluctuates, your business will need to adjust as well. 10 years ago, I had 3 kids at the house, very active. We were homeschooling. Things were nuts. Now, 2 of my kids are out of the house, and I have one who goes to a private school. He's homeschooled, but it's more of a private school, and he's super independent. They don't need me like they did. My business has adjusted to that. So set yourself up for success with your letter. Be kind to yourself. Look at where you are right now. And then I want you to actually go into your calendar and schedule quarterly check-ins for the entire year. Find maybe, 4 Friday mornings throughout the whole year, every quarter, and schedule yourself a check-in. Create a spreadsheet to track your goals, or you can just simply pull out your letter and revisit it to evaluate it. Think, what's working? What needs to be adjusted? What new actions need to be added? Have a meeting with yourself about this. And most importantly, take it one ick at a time. You might feel a lot of them, and that's okay. But let's just do one and write it down, reflect, and keep moving forward because you guys have got this. Now, before we close, I want to leave you with this. Your teaching journey is unique, and so is your growth. Yours looks different than mine, and that's good, right? We want to all be on our own journey. Taking the time to reflect, write things down, and plan for the future isn't just a task. This is a gift that you are giving to yourself and to your studio. If this process resonated with you, I would love to hear from you. If you need someone, I am here. You can email me your reflection letter at jaclyn@pianocats.com. That's JACLYN @pianocats, cats with a K.com. Now, whether it's sharing your wins, your copy, or your goals for 2025, I am here to cheer you on and help you stay accountable. And if you are interested in joining a mastermind group to take this work even further, let me know. As I mentioned before, I'm kind of back and forth whether I'm going to do some or not. But masterminds are an incredible way to connect with other teachers, share ideas, and grow in a supportive in a supportive community. And if there's a lot of people, I'm probably going to go ahead and proceed with it. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. I wish you all a restful end to 2024 and a purposeful, inspiring start to 2025. Remember, guys, one copy at a time, one goal at a time. Write it down. You've got this. Happy New Year, teachers, and I will see you in 2025. Hey, teachers, before you leave, I just have to tell you, check out the website. I did get some more freebies up there, and I will be trying to provide for you, if not in time for this podcast, then shortly after, a reflection letter form that you can fill out, like a template for your year in review reflection. So look for that. I just wanted to let you guys know you can find them at my website at www.pianocats.com/piano-printables. And remember, that's Piano Cats with a K. I'll put a link in the show notes as well. There are some Christmas freebies for these last few weeks. They are I guess they're freebies because they're free. So feel free to download them and have fun with them in your studios. Thanks again for listening. I will see you guys in January. And as always, I would be ever so grateful for that 5-star review on Apple or Spotify podcasts to help more teachers out there to become aware of shows like this that might help them on their own teaching journey. In the meantime, keep teaching, keep loving, keep practicing. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I love you all. Take care.